Hello, and welcome back to Turnaround Politics. Today, I wanted to change things up and look at the 2020 Electoral College, but let's just try and see the best that I could see Joe Biden doing. Meaning that this probably won't happen, but in the most extreme situation of Joe Biden winning, this is what I could see the most extreme look, the most extreme for Joe Biden look like. So let's start off. I've already filled in all the states that are considered safe, and since Joe Biden's the Democrat safe states, there's no way I'm gonna flip those if this is the best case scenario for Joe Biden. But also, Donald Trump has solid leads in each of these states. But let's start off with Nevada. Nevada currently has a Biden at +4, so definitely I'm gonna give it to him here. He's already leading in the polls. So actually, I'm just gonna go through. I'm gonna highlight all the states that he's winning in the polls. So let's start at the top of my list. Wisconsin winning +6.5. Obviously, gonna give it to him in the extreme case. Michigan +6.7. Ohio, he's winning by +2.3. I do give this to Donald Trump in my earlier video. However, I think in this scenario where I have to go through Biden's extreme win, I have to give it to him. Now let's go to Pennsylvania. Biden's winning by a +5.7 right now. And then Florida, Biden's winning by a +5. We're well over the 270 mark already. He's at 312, and this could, in all reality, be considered a landslide depending on the popular vote. Let's continue on. Georgia, Trump's winning by a +1.1, so let's save that for later. North Carolina, Trump's winning by a 0.6, so let's save that for later. New Hampshire, 9.7 for Biden. There's no way I see this as a toss-up state right now, but it is considered a toss-up state. Let's move over to Iowa. Trump's winning there in the polling. Trump's winning in Missouri in the polling. Minnesota, Biden is winning. However, he's winning by quite a bit, 5.3. There is some interesting polling coming out of Minnesota, though. Texas, Trump's winning. Arizona, Biden's winning by 2. So currently, in the most extreme scenario, without taking the states that Trump is winning in polling, this is what the outcome would look like. This is what you would look like if you selected like an electoral college map with no toss-up states. They just straight up give you all the states that one candidate's winning and all the states that the other candidate is winning. So at the end of the day, this is the electoral college that people would see when you do no toss-ups. A good win for Joe Biden. But let's go back and look at some of the states that are considered toss-up right now that Donald Trump is winning in the polling. Let's start with a small state, Iowa. 6 points, not going to spend a lot of time. Neither of the candidates will spend a lot of time. However, there's a Senate race going on up there, which the Democrat is winning. Teresa Greenfield is currently winning the polling by 0.4, even though Donald Trump is winning the state by +1.7. So the polling is going to be a little weird since a Democrat is winning the Senate election according to polling. Donald Trump's winning the presidential. I don't really see 2020 being the year that we have a senator come from a state that voted for Donald Trump, a Democrat senator coming from a state that voted for Donald Trump. I don't think that's really realistic. We've really increased polarization in this country in the last 4 years. I think that it's going to come down to polling's hard to tell, but Iowa, it's very close. Within the margin of error, I bring that up a lot, but it is important to know that all polling comes with a margin of error, and that is something important that everyone should look at because, like, many elections have come out where a person losing in the polls have won, but they've won by a very slim amount, and it's covered within the margin of error. It's like when you have a point spread on a basketball game. That's kind of like that. We think this candidate's gonna win, but political scientists will put like a +3, like a 3-point difference. There could be a 3-point swing in this, so like don't take our word that these are the exact numbers. So Iowa's one of those cases. Iowa's a +1.7, but they are doing more polls for presidents around the country than senators around the country. And so I think that Donald Trump will win it, but Joe Biden has a great chance of winning it. So I do think in an extreme scenario, I have to give it to him when within the margin of error. So he technically doesn't have to increase his polling. He could right now be leading in Iowa, but no one knows it because the polling's a little bit off. So let's move down to Missouri. Missouri has a Trump with a plus 6.4. Missouri's gone to be a very conservative state. It's been a toss-up state for a while, but it's gone more and more conservative. I do think Missouri is going to vote for Trump, but this is the extreme scenario. So let's talk about it. Joe Biden covers the margin of error. He's losing by a significant amount, 6.4. It's not within the margin of error of any polls. That would be a really bad poll if it had a margin of error that large. And this is polling averages according to Real Clear Politics. So this is the average of polling. So it's a very good number to look at. So Missouri, even in an extreme scenario, I think Joe Biden, like if he spent like his entire 2 months in Missouri, he could win it. But I don't think he would do that. And I'm looking at the extreme scenario, but a more realistic extreme scenario than him winning Missouri. So I have to give it to Donald Trump, bringing his total to 126. There's no way Trump wins in this scenario. It's an extreme scenario for Joe Biden, but it's interesting to see. Now let's move over to North Carolina. North Carolina is a typical toss-up state. It has been. And with the polls, Trump is only winning by 0.6. And in the Senate election that's going on in North Carolina, Cal Cunningham, who is the Democrat who's running for Senate, he's not currently the senator, is winning in the polling by plus 3.5. That is right on the margin of error for a polling. So like Trump winning only by 0.6 is really telling in a state, and I've said previously that I don't think there's going to be any split states, and Cal Cunningham winning by that much there just leads me to believe in this extreme scenario that I have to give it to Joe Biden. There's a good chance he spends time in North Carolina. 15 electoral college votes is quite a bit, and it's something, if he's feeling like he's losing Florida, Pennsylvania, he will spend a lot of time there. But in this extreme scenario, he would definitely spend most of his time in North Carolina if the only toss-up states were Iowa, Missouri, Georgia, North Carolina, and Texas. So let's look at Georgia. Really not a typical toss-up state. Really surprised me when polling data started coming out that Georgia was a toss-up state. However, in polling, Donald Trump is winning by not by a lot, but a significant amount, plus 1.1. I guess it's really not a significant amount, but both the Senate elections going down there, the senators, both of them, Loeffler and Perdue, have about a 4-point lead in their respective Senate elections. With 2 Senate elections going on, both the senators tied very closely to Trump. They'll tie their names to Trump. A lot of their stuff will be tied to the Republican Party in general, which also inherently ties it to Trump. Georgia, in an extreme scenario, definitely Joe Biden could win it, so we got to give it to him. Plus 1.1, Georgia will be an interesting state to watch outside of this extreme scenario. But 1.1 is within the margin of error. He could be winning there, and we never know. But it could be a state he spends money in. 16 points. It would definitely help if he spent time and money there, because the two Senate elections going on there. It would definitely benefit the Democrats if Joe Biden decided to spend some time there. Now let's look at Texas, the biggest surprise toss-up state of this election. Trump is winning by plus 3.5, tilting on the margin of error. However, what's really telling for me in this extreme scenario is how much work that's going in Texas. I should have brought it up in Georgia. Stacey Abrams putting in a lot of work for voter registration and voter rights in Georgia, which I do attribute Georgia being a toss-up state a lot to her. She's put in a lot of time and a lot of work to make Georgia more voter friendly for less less privileged people in Georgia, and much respect to helping people turn out to vote. So Texas, same way. Beto O'Rourke, he made a Senate election a lot closer than it should have been. against Ted Cruz, very popular uh, senator and a very, very good politician. He's one of the top politicians in the country right now. So like him, Beto O'Rourke, making it such a close race is really telling that Texas could flip blue in the near future. Trump leading by plus 3.5. If Joe Biden put time and money, I mean, I don't know about anyone listening to this, but there's been a lot of stuff on Twitter about donating $38 to Texas. It has 38 Electoral College votes. Money being spent in Texas, Senate election in Texas, which isn't considered a toss-up right now, but it is worth noting that there is a Senate election there. In an extreme scenario, Joe Biden could definitely win Texas at the end of the day, well within the margin of error. It could be essentially tied there right now, and a lot of time and effort from Democrats going to Texas. Time, money, voter registration, helping people vote, getting to the polling stations. So this, in the most extreme scenario, in the best case scenario for Joe Biden in this election, the outcome would turn out to be 412 versus Donald Trump's 126. And as you can see, it kind of just looks like all the coast, most of the coast except for South Carolina on the East Coast, it just looks like Donald Trump has a little belt in America. Like the Bible Belt, I guess. He has just a little belt across America helping him get Electoral College votes. But yeah, at the end of the day, this could be what the Electoral College looks like. Very unlikely scenario. Definitely don't think this is what's going to happen, but it definitely could. Polling doesn't suggest this would happen, but in the worst case scenario for Donald Trump in the polling, if the polling is biased towards him, which I'm not saying it is, but if it is, and at the end of the day, polling moves left towards Joe Biden, this is definitely something that we could see. I mean, 2016 election, no one thought Hillary Clinton would lose, and we look and we saw Donald Trump win. So, thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and have a great day.